Whoa! Hello everyone. Welcome, it's been a while. How we all doing? Welcome to the return of the Maple Podcast. We haven't had one in quite a while. Today we're going to be talking about a few things. There's been a lot of new stuff that's happened, a lot of new content. You can probably just read it in the title. We're gonna be going over Maplefest briefly, and then the two juicy things I'm sure everyone's waiting for: the Kanna Revamp and the introduction of the new Fury Totem. So let me introduce you to our guests. Hopefully this works. I haven't been on the scene in a while. Bam. Alright, beautiful. Alright, let me pause the music. Alright. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
How's it going? So, today on the podcast we have the one and only, we got Matt, MisusingTV. My voice. Top left. Top right, we got pocketstream. And to my left, we have CodeNox. So, let's just jump right into it. First off, just touch on Maplefest. The three of you went to Maplefest this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
How was it?
It was great.
Did you have a lot of fun?
Yeah, I enjoyed meeting everyone. Some people for the first time, some people meeting them again. The meet and greet was an experience, you know. I never did that in my life, so went a lot better than I thought.
How about you, Pocket? How was Maplefest?
Yeah, similar. It's nice to meet a lot of people that we see every day on Twitch or every once in a while, and also my first meet and greet, so it's nice to meet people and had a pretty good time.
And you, Nox?
It was hilarious to share a room with Pocket.
Were you in the same hotel or something?
Yeah, we shared an Airbnb for a night.
Oh, nice. I had a good time watching from home. I was watching the live stream. I was there in spirit. It was a bit far for me, so couldn't make it this year. Do you think there'll be another one next year?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
15th anniversary, 2020. Can't miss it.
I'm gonna be honest. Last year, I didn't think there was gonna be a second one because I don't know. I didn't feel like they really had that much to announce. I guess because last year they announced Maple 2, which was pretty huge. They also announced Flames, and I think those were the biggest ones, and then Monad. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I wasn't too impressed with the announcements. Like, they mainly just hyped Pathfinder, but everyone kind of already knew the Pathfinder was coming.
Well, I feel like Maplefest isn't just only for the announcements. It's more so about the experience and, being able to, meet other people who share the same interests. Just kind of a gathering overall. I think that's the biggest part, for the event. The announcements are nice and all. That's cool. I know people go there for that, but a lot of people also went there just so they can see their online friends or buy the merch.
And for
That's
the
fair.
emblem.
That's fair. Oh, yes.
For the emblem.
The exclusive Maplefest gifts. True. What kind of activities did they have this year?
They had
You
a
were able to play
Lego
with some Legos.
collecting- Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a lot more activities in the first one.
Really? A lot more?
Mm-hmm. A lot more. Way more.
They didn't have any vendors or anything. It was just the Lego and then the photo booth. in the main
Mhm.
event.
Because
hall.
last year they had like the archery and then the debate booth.
Yeah.
The dance.
Yeah, there was way more in the first one.
Oh, the first one. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, the first one. First
Okay.
one, yeah.
Gotcha.
Venue was pretty small too,
Oh yeah.
as far as rooms and things went. It's quite crowded.
Yeah, I did see a few criticisms of this year's Maple Fest on Reddit.
I thought it was about the same as last year.
In terms of venue size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I couldn't say.
Yeah. I
Oh.
wasn't there. It looked
Um.
bigger from like the videos, I guess.
1 second. Sorry.
Sure. I guess we can talk about what they did announce at Maple Fest. Of all the stuff that there was all the stuff that we knew was coming, so Pathfinder and all of the quality of life adjustments and stuff like that. They also announced there was going to be a new PQ. Do you remember that?
Mhm.
Do we have any speculations what this new PQ could be? What could entail? Or, like,
My
rewards and
big
stuff like that?
speculation is that it's going to give us a potable badge.
You think? Ooh,
Yes,
Really?
that is my speculation.
that would be nice.
It's a very big speculation.
It is, but I'm willing to say that, you know.
Alright. Level 30?
Let's hope for at least 100.
I don't know. To me, it looked kind of like almost like a Crimsonwood Keep PQ, but I don't know what kind of rewards they would give. I'm gonna be honest. I think the potable badge is a little bit optimistic. I don't think that's very likely, but we can hope, right?
Yeah.
Well, they did promise us
reminded me-
epic rewards. So, what are we gonna get? The chair? You know how like the chair was like exclusive.
Oh yeah,
We're gonna get an
Because
epot scroll.
the boss
Yeah.
the boss was the guardian chair, whatever.
Epic potential.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
could see it being similar to like APQ, where you have like a bonus stage and you hit boxes and get like rare, like potions or consumables. But
Right. I'm hoping for like something like
Sorry.
the emblems, where you make an item.
emblems from like bosses.
No, yeah, like the boss drops emblems, and you can make a particular item from the whatever that might be.
Did they ever say they were gonna do that for PNO for GMS?
Yes, they confirmed it.
Yeah, that's really nice. I've been running Princess No fairly regularly, and just getting a secondary is so rare. So removing the
wanna
RNG
trade?
aspect of that is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
You want to trade Zong?
I've gotten about 4 or 5 different secondaries, all of the wrong class. So, well, do you have a lead?
It'll be nice,
you have an
especially
orb?
for reboot. So
Yeah, true. Nox, do you have an orb?
Yeah.
Oh my, I would love to
Do you have
trade.
a sickness? Yeah.
I do. I threw it away actually. Anyway, okay. What else did they mention? They announced they gave like a behind the scenes, like they had a KMS dev video, and they kind of teased a couple of skills for the Kanna rework, which was pretty exciting. And now we have all of the info on that. It's a good segue into our next segment, the big Kanna rework. So I know Nox has been playing on JMS. I lurked on your stream recently. Any thoughts, Nox,
Yeah.
on new Kanna?
Well, first of all, JMS is great. Getting there is a pain in the ass, but JMS itself is great. The Kanna itself, it's good. It's really good. Like they've buffed the hitbox vertically, horizontally, just everything. There's a couple of skill canceling techniques with Kata now, with Tengu, so that might work into the DPS more. They're still trying to figure it out on JMS, but from what I can hear, they did find Tengu skill canceling, so you can combine that with your farming now. And then there's a little trick, like they have the what they're called, like spirit spots. So if you kill a mob, they might spawn like different spirit spots.
Oh, the little
And you can spawn up
veins.
to, yeah, the little vein
Right.
things. And if you put the blossom berries on top of that, that lasts for like 100, 120 seconds. And so you could actually simulate Spanish farming, like between the veins around the map. So
I heard you can only have a few of them, right?
you can get up to, okay, so you can have 3 barriers up, but then you can have 2 more veins. So you can have like 5, which I think is pretty good.
Cool,
Yeah.
interesting.
They're moving Soul Shear, right?
Yes, they are removing
Final
Soul Shear.
damage?
So, how much final
Did they
damage
say
did it
anything?
give? Was
Right.
it
30.
30%? That's pretty big loss, but I feel like they make it up with a lot of the other new revamp skills.
Didn't their DPS go up from like bottom to
Oh
3 or
yes, I
something?
did hear about that. On the JMS charts, they went from like 44th to like 2nd, which is pretty insane.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Kanna rework, Sleepable, the rank 1 Kanna made a really good guide / review. I'll bring that up. He made like a 23 page document of
My man.
like all the new skills, and so pretty detailed. A lot of work went into it. It looks really nice. So shout out to him. If you want to have a look at it in your own time, I'll link it in the chat, and for those watching on YouTube, I'll leave it in the description. So definitely check that out if you are interested in new Kanna.
Yeah.
Rip Sam.
Oh, do you want me to give you the videos as well?
Sure. Yeah,
There's a couple of like, yeah.
DM me those. I'm just curious, how did you get a JMS account?
Just made one. That's it.
Was that it?
Yeah, and
Did
then
you have to jump through some hoops?
so it was very simple actually. Just make one and then you get on. And
You
I
don't,
actually
you
got really
don't, you
lucky.
don't need like a ID for it.
No, it's just like email. The VPN, you get a VPN, jump in, and then I was actually very lucky because I found a Kanna. Like I was in like the Scania of JMS, and then we found some random Kanna, and he was like, "Don't stay in this world, just go to another world." And so I followed him, and it turns out he's like a Kanna main. So he's a Kanna main, then he has like 2 extra Kannas on the side. So he just gave me one of his accounts
Oh wow.
to test out. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So yeah. Oh, one thing about the Kanna Haku fan though, they're not sure if it's currently applied because the additional options for Haku is not applied right now, but they don't know if that's like supposed to be intended or
Well, I don't know if it's bugged or not.
yeah. Yeah, let me just read the DMs. So he says, like most of the stuff is covered in Andrew's guide, so you guys can look at that. But he says for MTS2, they can defeat 330 red spiders per minute with Kishin, like in with a Kanna. So yeah, I don't know how good that is, but
What skill are you most excited for from the new Kanna revamp?
Tengu.
Tengu?
Oh yeah,
I
it's so
like
cool.
the badass demon summon
Oh, the
because he
huge
progressively
goblin
just
god?
gets
Oh,
yeah
yes.
larger and larger. So 4th job, you just insane mobbing.
How about you, Pocket? Which skill are you looking forward to?
Probably Shikigami Haunting. It looks fast and responsive, large
Oh, yes.
hitbox.
I love the new animation they gave it. It looks really
Yeah.
really flashy now. Such a flashy
I love
class.
Domain.
Oh my. Domain?
Domain's great.
Touching Domain. I'm actually excited for the new TP. Don't have to wait for that annoying animation delay at the start of each TP now.
Yeah. The one thing
Yeah.
I don't like about it is that you can't like TP. Like if there's no platform above you, you can't TP in the air, just like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
they
Platform.
removed the max vertical. Like there was infinite like range on the teleport itself, and that was limited.
Yeah. But, like you know how like adventure mages you can just kind of teleport up even if it's blank. Like you can't do that with them.
Can they? I thought Kanna's TP is the same as
What?
as
Yeah, I
Adventure's
thought it was the
teleport
same.
now.
Like you can jump telly and everything.
Yeah, I think you're thinking about Lumi TP. You can jump it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Lumi's Equilibrium TP. Yeah.
Yeah, infinite range is nice right now, but overall, I just think that
It's not quite
their
infinite,
teleport.
but it's very. It's like 900 range up.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah. Like
It's basically
it's
infinite,
basically
yeah,
infinite.
Yeah.
But they get a faster, more responsive teleport. You can jump with it too. So
Excited to do Spirit
It's
Savior
nice.
with the new Kanna TP. They also have an up jump as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, Evans get jump telly sometime soon. Then
They also have like the Assassin's Mark version,
Yeah.
which is pretty awesome.
Do you know what that's called yet? Just Mark of the Kanna, Mark of Haki.
No, it's like I forget what it's called. It's on the document.
I think I'm gonna miss the dash personally.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite skills.
Shigeyami Charm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that you can animation cancel the current TP, the slow animation with the dash. So yeah, definitely gonna miss that.
Oh, you can do that with Tengu now, so that's not too bad. It's called Night Sparrow.
Oh,
Yeah, 70% chance for every enemy hit, and it'll fly to nearby monsters and hit them. So it's basically like Mark. And apparently, it deals 195% damage, but you can like buff it up really high. So it's like 600%.
oh, it has a boost
From the
node.
videos.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that Pocket?
I was just saying from the videos, it looked like if there's no target, they just kind of fizzled. They seem to spawn, and if there's nothing in range, they disappear.
Oh, they don't stick around like AB balls. They just disappear like.
Right.
So it's more like Assassin's Mark.
Well, marks don't disappear though.
Oh,
Like when they spawn, they have a target as soon as they're spawned. So it's a kind of interesting mechanic. I'm not sure what you could do with that yet.
Let's see.
how do we think the?
I just think Kanna's gonna be just a lot more enjoyable to play for the majority of people. So
Yeah. Definitely.
It's definitely
good
not-
change overall.
How do we think Kanna ranks on like top mobbers? Do we think it's best mobber now or up there?
Yeah, I mean, I think with all its summons and like revamped Tengu, I think it'd be considered best mobber.
It's not so easy
I mean,
to play though.
Yeah, a lot more work than like just spamming Lumi's reflection, but still really good, very effective.
Yeah. Apparently, one of the issues that they have now is that they have like a chance to random TP. So if you're dropping down and spamming Tengu, you can accidentally TP to one of your veins, and that kind of screws you up. So that's not so easy. But
How does
other
the
than that-
TP work? Is it if you don't press a directional key, then you go to a vein?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so if there's no vein, then you don't go to one. And then if there's like 3 veins, sometimes you're more likely to TP between the previous vein and the current vein versus the third vein. But there's still a small chance you might go to the third vein. And if you spawn more than 3, then it just kind of gets split between the 5, but not evenly. It's very strange. So I kind of feel like if you were in a pretty crowded map, and you just sat there and like spammed and let your Night Sparrows go out to hit mobs, if they could one shot, then they would spawn the veins, and you can kind of just teleport around and spread out that way. So if you were really, really funded, Spanish roaming might still be a thing, just not as much.
I feel like it wouldn't be as effective though, right? Because
No,
you can only go to wherever you place your veins. So
yeah, but if it's like really random, because you could randomly place your veins if you can one shot with the Night Sparrows, so it is theoretically possible. I don't know how OP you have to be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how many people stop farming because of the removal of random TP, but only time will tell. Speaking of amount of people farming, they're also Kishin's getting nerfed. It's another big topic.
Mm-hmm.
They're finally doing it. I mean, they hinted at it for like 6 months, so I don't think anyone's surprised.
Really?
No. No one should be surprised. I mean, recall when they touched Kanna when they weren't supposed to. Right? They still went down that path of nerfing Kanna. But the reasoning why is a little lame, to say the least.
The reasoning for why they're nerfing it this time?
Nerfing Kishin.
Yeah, it feels a little bit weird that they're only just bringing up that it's bugged. I feel like it's a very convenient reason for them. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts, Pocket, on Kishin nerf?
Well, some of us have been saying like the progression has been like just relatively high overall as far as getting to end game and rate of farming. I don't know that this is necessarily good or that I would want it, but it does, I guess, help toward that goal of like extending gameplay.
Just slowing down progression?
Yeah. Because as it is right now, people, you can catch up very fast, and the maze rates, at least for a reboot, are quite high. Like, maybe too high, some would say. So.
Yeah, I guess rate of progression is pretty damn fast right now, but wouldn't you say it also creates a massive gap between all the players that have had pre-nerf Kishin and now all the players like starting off and trying to progress through the game? Like there's just such a huge gap now.
I mean,
Sure,
so it'll take a little longer, so it's not. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. Like just so if you can't get your Meso gear in a week or two, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's not really a competition, and stronger players generally can help out the newer players too. So it's like I don't think that it's like it would be considered just a disadvantage. It's just like that's how it'll be going forward. Things change, and it'll never be fair for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of meso that you're able to farm now compared to when the game first started is just considerably more. So
yeah,
man.
started out like 90 mil per hour.
Right, things change over time. People just you gotta adapt. But I just think overall, like the reasoning for nerf, like it's because the servers are they can't keep up with the amount of people using Kishin.
That doesn't seem like a real reason, to be honest.
Right, but that's the reason they gave, right? So like it sounds really really bad on their part. It's like, oh yeah, we have to kind of make this a little worse because can't really maintain the game well with it in this current state. And obviously that attests to the amount of people that are botting with Kishin as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't write this on the list of things to, but the removal of the 10 channels from Reboot and Bearer after
Mm-hmm.
what do they say? I have this copy pasted. After several months of monitoring and gradually improving other parts of our server structure, blah blah blah, we decided that the additional resources used to maintain these additional channels could be reallocated to better serve the entire game. But
Yeah, I actually asked Ace
as
about
soon
that in
as
person.
they took away the 10 channels, I'm pretty sure everyone felt like a downgrade. And like especially the login servers recently have been pretty terrible. It's very difficult to get on the game recently.
Not for me. I haven't noticed anything. I can't speak for Reboot, but Bear has been pretty solid for me.
Yeah, I asked Ace about it in person, and so he told me that the 20 channels is supposed to help, but they kind of did it really unfortunate timing because right as they removed 20 channels, they were also migrating their servers to Amazon. So like that kind of caused a lot of the problems early on.
Right.
I don't know if it's still going on, but that's kind of like the first hitch. And then the second hitch was that if I asked him directly, and he was like, if more people come to play, then we'll come and introduce the channels again. So maybe.
So this summer, and then they'll take it away in the fall.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like again, they could have done the world merges a little bit differently, allocated the resources for increased channels and less servers. I think overall people would have been a lot happier if they're trying to allocate their resources properly.
All right.
I
yeah,
haven't been able to log in for a while, like on the first try.
Oh yeah.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, server's too full, and then the game crashes. And then
Mhm.
It's not fun.
Matt mentioned the world merges, so that's coming this August. Just wanted to quickly touch on that because I have the two new worlds here. They're basically merging Broa Kaini and Grazed, and then they're merging Windia and My Bacon. And I don't know about you, but I feel like they could have just merged all of these servers and it would have been fine. But
Yeah.
I don't know why they decided to do two separate ones, because I feel like they're still going to be pretty underpopulated if you compare it to like Bear or Scania even. So yeah.
Yeah, I personally think that there should just be two, quote unquote mega servers. Clearly, Bera has, enough for it to stand on its own, and then just merge everything else together. Even if that turns out to be more popular than Bera, you can then open up transfers since there's only two servers, and just kind of have the population even itself out.
I feel like they, after what happened last time when they gave people the choice of which server they wanted to go to, I don't think they'd want that to happen again, because what happened last time is everyone was kind of really impatient that Nexon hadn't done anything about low server populations. So you had a list that you were able to choose from which server you wanted to go to, and they didn't include Scania or Windia. So Bear was the most popular out of all the servers on the list. So
Right.
everyone, like the community, just decided to all go to Bear, and so Bear became the most popular.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened.
Didn't someone do like a chart recently about population if they were to merge the servers? Like it would be about like 80% of both of them.
Yeah, I think Rob posted something on Reddit.
Yeah. Does that seem fair to you guys? Like, is that okay, or does it need to be upped?
What do you mean?
Like, is that a good number to have for those servers?
Oh. I think if the numbers are just the way they are, like the way you presented them, it would just be a lot easier to just merge everything together. Then they could allocate more channels to all servers. For example, if we had two non-reboot and reboot, we could, with all the extra, resources that we potentially could have, you could just add 20 extra channels to each server, and I feel like everybody would be happy at the end of the day.
Yep.
And then there would be potentially a flourishing economy in the second server if you were to merge all those guys together.
So how would you ideally merge? So you get all of the current, all of the.
Just everyone that's not Barra together.
Oh, okay. So all of the
Yeah.
other ones merge with Scania, and then
Mhm.
you just have Bear, Scania, and Reboot.
Well, I mean, if they want to keep Scania, or they could name it something new. But yeah, basically.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a interesting idea. Oh, Julie just linked the stats that Rob posted on the Maple Reddit.
Yep. Also, if you were to go off of Rob's stats, it
Mhm.
would if they wanted to go off these like 2 new servers, right? If they're dead set on this,
Mm-hmm.
it would have made more sense to merge Windia with Grazed and Brookine with My Bacon. Not like the other way around, not the way they did it.
Right. I'm curious how Rob got these numbers.
Yeah, hell if I know.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. What was the next thing? Let me check my list. Oh, did you guys hear about the Maplefest box exploit?
Mm-hmm.
That was I think Pocket's Party got hit by that.
I mean, you're stupid if you did it. You knew the risk of that you were running while trying to do something like that. And, if you got caught, you got caught. If not, then, you could be happy with what you did, what you're able to gain from it. But they clearly went the banning route, and I just don't know if it's temporary or permanent.
I think they said something like depending on the severity of how severely
Okay.
you exploit it will determine how
Okay,
long
yeah,
it
that
is.
makes sense. That makes
Um,
sense.
But for those that don't know, this year for the Maplefest box rewards, so last year when you opened the box, you got all of the rewards on one character. This year, they allowed you to pick and choose, so you could pick like your emblem on your main and transfer the box through
Mhm.
storage and get like the heart on like a different character.
Shit.
Yeah.
And then in the rewards, there was also Maple points. So spaghetti coding happened. And for whatever reason, when you transfer the box through storage, you'd claim the same reward on a different character. So there were people getting infinite Maple points and stuff like that. Which
So the way it worked was if you claimed all the rewards, right? You claimed all the rewards on a character, you would think the box would disappear, right? It would if you double click the box again, but it didn't right away. So you put it in storage, went on a different character, and what? Oh, the rewards are there again because you didn't claim them on that character.
Yep. So that's the reason why they stopped distributing the Maplefest boxes, and that's a reason why a lot of people got banned in the past week. So
They did it pretty quickly though, so I'll give them that. It's not like they waited like a day after or anything. They addressed it pretty quickly.
I saw a screenshot of someone who appealed their ban, and the reply was, "Sorry, but you've taken advantage of exploits," and then it said they opened the box, the Maple Point
85
box
times.
85 times. I was like, what? Really? Yeah. What did you think was gonna happen?
It's the same kind of idiot that goes and appeals, just because.
Just because. You
I don't
know,
think he
like,
was
you might as well
expecting
give
to-
it a shot, right?
I think he was expecting to get unbanned. I think he just wanted the reply.
Yeah.
But
Like, damn, that means he went through basically like all of his characters twice.
no, but you can't. Like you can only do it once per character. So he was deleting and remaking characters.
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I thought you could just like go back on it.
Nah. All right. Last but not least, moving back to the reasons why they nerf Kishin. Matt talked about that earlier. So they said something about the servers, and then I feel like they were kind of clever in that, like they mentioned, yeah, we're gonna nerf Kishin, and then right after that they're like, oh, but we're gonna introduce this new item in the cash shop, or in the reward point shop.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't give any details other than it was just gonna be in the reward point shop. They didn't say like the uptime or anything like that.
Well, they did say it wasn't gonna be permanent. It was gonna be time limited.
Right.
That wouldn't replace Kishin.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they've come out with, they announced it over the weekend. It's called the Fury Totem, and
The furry totem.
yes, the Furry Totem. It costs 2k reward points, and the coupon lasts for 30 days. So when they said 30 days, I was like, whoa, that's pretty good. And then they said after you use the coupon, it lasts for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, all of my hopes and dreams just went.
I
they were
woke
gone.
up and I saw there was a new memo. I read the memo. I as soon as I saw 2 hours, I papagered IRL. I'm like, oh hell no, really? Like this is what you're gonna give us?
Yeah.
And I was just waiting for the stream so they could kind of like talk about it. It was just like it didn't make it anything better.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad. Like that pricing is way too high. Only 15 per month. Like I understand. Like for me personally, I think it's clearly towards casual people. Casual players. It's not meant for the hardcore, which will. And since they said they didn't want to replace Kanna and Kishin, you're clearly gonna have a second PC. And use that if you're a hardcore player. But still, like casuals to get like 30k reward points just for 30 hours of grinding a month. Like I don't know about that one.
That totally drives me too, because like, if you're gonna do it for casuals, then do it for casuals properly. And it's kind of like
Right,
trying to do
exactly.
both, and it's
Yeah,
the worst of both worlds.
because like it's like a casual player won't be able to consistently or at least like right off the bat get 30k reward points anytime soon. Like it's not extremely hard, but for the amount of time that you're gonna spend trying to grind these reward points to the amount of like you're gonna be grinding with your new totem, it's very unreasonable.
Do you think they're trying to promote Maple Story?
Yeah, I mean, one of my thoughts after like just reading a bunch, I think that's a possible idea.
You think they're trying to promote it? They didn't mention Maple Story at
They
all.
didn't mention it,
Yeah.
but you do get 500 reward points daily for like 10 minutes of action on Maple M. You link your
Yeah.
account, it's working properly.
I still can't link mine. Apparently, like
in-
10% of the players just haven't been able to link theirs.
Really? In
it's like a
Korea,
cheap
they
point.
have a Legion, right, block. And here, you get it for your Fury Totem.
Yeah, I think the main issue is that if you buy all 15, that's 30k, and for those that don't know, you're only allowed to make 30k maximum. Outside of Maple M, you cap out at 30k, so that starts limiting you on reboot. If you don't play Maple M, then you may not be able to get your Water of Life. Then on non-reboot, especially,
Oh,
all
it
your
severely
cubes and-
limits you. Yeah, it
Pendants
severely
and
limits you on Maple
scrolls.
on a
Reg
regular server.
Mm.
It's 45. Well, is it? I don't know. They told me it was 30. Someone said
Yeah.
it was 45 for like a few months, and then it went back to 30. it's 45, it's less bad, I guess. I haven't capped out in a long time. I used to. I spent more.
Yeah, I think
That's how you get your reward points now. He's spending
Yeah.
index.
I think
5%.
the general consensus is it's just too expensive, and
Yeah.
I feel like the duration, like, okay, so my prediction before they announced it, before the Maple Memo came out, was that it was gonna be like a 7-day duration, but then you could only buy it once per month. So I was
Right.
kind of, like, to me that was like low expectations going in, and then they said it was gonna last for 2 hours, and I was like,
If it's
Yeah.
going to last for 2 hours, make it at least toggleable. You know, like for 2K reward points, like you have to take advantage of those. Like you need those 2 hours to sit down and grind, or else it's just a waste of your time. You know.
yeah.
Yeah. Pocket, as someone who does dailies like every day, how much do you get per month?
If there's events, I do cap out, so I don't know that 45k is right. Because sometimes just if I get 5k or something, then I start capping. It's been a while since they've had bigger reward point gifts, but yeah. Sorry, what was the question?
Like, how much do you get per month? Just from
Per
doing,
day,
like,
per
dailies
month,
and
reward
events.
points.
Yeah.
I think I get around 900 per day from monster collection, plus around 600 from bosses, or 1000. So I should
Okay.
be capping out then, generally.
Okay. And then
So
with
maybe it
Maple
is
M,
above.
1500. You know, if you were to add that.
Yeah, I'd be fine, but not everyone
So yeah.
likes doing
Yeah.
bosses. Or has 4 24-hour.
Monster
Actually,
collections.
I think the lower values are technically more efficient for reward points.
I don't know.
I mean, it's doable, but this is like a very established account. And using the monster collection is like 40% of it. 50, 40, 50.
It's like,
I mean, it's doable, but it just adds a lot more that you have to do.
my question is, like, what was the point? What was the point of introducing the Fury Totem if it's so A, expensive, and B, limited because of the cost?
Limited because, right, and like you only have 30 hours, right, a month with it. So like, once those 30 hours are up, like let's say you get the reward points, like are you going to grind off of Fury Totem? Like, are you gonna want to? Like, you've already like tasted, you know, being able to farm at more efficient speed. Like, would you care enough? Like, I mean, guess you would have to, right? But
Yeah, they're making it seem like it's such a, by the pricing, it's like a precious, expensive item, but like Kanna is pretty common. And I
Yeah,
don't know,
like,
it's going to be
if
put into event stores too, right? So then you have to spend your event coins on getting totems instead of something
There's only
else.
one in the event store.
Right.
That's not really
It's just like
significant.
they're making it seem like super special, super rare, and it doesn't seem like it should be that way.
it's
Yeah.
like if the goal was to get rid of like the 2 PC meta, it's like, why not make it more accessible? I don't know.
but it wasn't clearly.
Yeah,
Right.
like they did touch on that during the official stream. They said, we're aware that the 2 PC meta is still a thing, but I don't know. I feel like that's probably the biggest community complaint at the moment, and
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm just so disappointed because there was so much potential for this item.
Yeah.
Everyone
they
was
did
really
nothing to
excited for
address
it. There are a lot of people that quit because of the 2 PC meta that were waiting for this item to come out, and it's just a letdown. So
Well, I feel like if they stressed, like Dennis could have put in his previous memos about like this item that like originally that there were no plans to tackle the 2 PC meta, then people wouldn't have gotten their hopes up so much. I don't know if that was clearly communicated, you know, with us. I don't recall.
I don't think they've ever really talked about 2PC. Like, this is like the first time they even addressed it, I think. From what I can remember.
I think Aru talked about it when he was still here. Not very much, but
Mm.
obviously nothing came out of it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's not an easy solution. There's a lot of things we don't have visibility into. We kind of know what we'd like and want, but it's really hard to say what they can do or have control over, especially as
Yeah.
Nexon, NA.
Yeah, but I mean, like, don't you feel like overall, like, this just could have been what they could have done was poll it, like give us the idea, like what you're trying to do, poll it with the community. This would have never passed with us, like clearly, like it would have been like over like 95% no, and they could have gone back to the drawing board, and like actually released a proper item instead of just like, yeah, this is better than nothing, but I feel like it just could have gone, they could have gone about it like
I
a
agree.
lot
I mean,
better.
seeing what they did with like Maple 2, especially the whole
Project New
process,
Leaf.
and
Yeah.
how like collaborative it was and how it could change, but it just goes to, I guess, like how much resources they're allowed for Maple 1, or just what limitations they have. Whenever they talk about it, it seems like their hands are just tied.
yeah.
If you could make any changes to Fury Totem in terms of price or like duration, what would they be? To be more
half price, 6 hours, toggleable.
Nox?
Oh, and
That was-
double the amount that you can get. Like if you're gonna have the price, double the amount. So from 15 to 30.
I was gonna say like 15 days, but I think Matt's idea is more reasonable. Like 6 hours toggleable is pretty nice.
Toggleable as in like the snail?
Yeah, like the snail.
Yeah,
So
like
like if
has
you were
one
to
active.
use it, so if I buy it, it'll be active for 6 hours, but I don't have to commit to 6 hours in a row of grinding, because I'm a casual, right? For the casuals. If you're if you're hardcore, by all means go ahead. But if you're more casual, you can kind of spread that apart, because you don't have that kind of time.
Yeah.
How about you,
There's
Pocket?
there's so many things that would be nice. It's always easy
Mhm.
to say would be, but as you can see, they just literally reskinned the Frenzy Totem.
I mean,
They're
but did you think they were
creeping-
gonna do anything else? Like, I mean, they just went off of previous, just like concept,
I mean,
and
that just still goes toward the theme of like they're just working with what they got, and there's just they have to do like minimal resource, minimum max efficiency. So
I mean, frankly, I don't
I
think
don't know.
anybody will be upset that it's reskinned. This is like a
I mean,
reskin.
like-
It's like a
yeah, like, I
it
don't
takes
really
my totem
think-
slot. It's no stats. We need damage on reboot. Mobs have HP.
I
Lots of
guess they
HP.
could have made it like a cash item,
Yeah.
like a shoulder or a belt or
More
ring.
clean.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't think anybody would be upset that it's like looking like a frenzy totem if it wasn't like this.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying anyone's upset. It's just that it's
Yeah,
kinda
it just
humorous
speaks
too,
to like what they have to work with. Like they couldn't
Yeah.
make a brand new. They just had to reskin. So
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Logical. Conserve resources.
Right. Hmm.
So as far as timing and stuff goes, I'd prefer if it was in smaller chunks, if it weren't toggleable. So like 1 hour for like 500, and then just have like I don't know how many. And I've read some suggestions to like have them drop from like bosses or things like RNG, which would like encourage
Mhm.
people to do those other things or like mini games and things.
E-bosses.
Which would be nice, right? Like you're grinding and then you're rewarded for grinding, and you can grind more and have a snowball
Yeah.
effect. But, I think we can just all agree right now it's just way too expensive.
Do you
So
think-
another oh sorry, go ahead, Zong.
I was gonna say, do you think because of all of this community backlash, they'd adjust the price in the future?
I think in the future, yes. Right away, probably not.
We can hope for that.
I don't think they're gonna do anything to it like
Yeah,
before the release in 10 days.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
short notice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did remove like remember when Reboot first came out, the mesosex?
Yes.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
not like they can't do it. But will they?
Mm.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
think more ways of getting the item would come out in the future? They said
Yeah.
they're working on.
They said they
Bros.
will. Yeah, they would. How many? We don't know, but I mean, like,
They
I
talked
think that's
about
something that they
adding
should
it to
push
like
for.
Fairy Bros and maybe some other event rewards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
'Cause that's what they said about symbols a long time ago, and we are getting a lot more symbols than we used to.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
There is some hope.
It's like weekly resets now too, and everything, right? So. But you know, again, like, when it comes to like just going back to how they could have done this, like Fury Totem aside, you know, I feel like Link skill would have been just the best way. You know, remove the cooldown to transfer links, and then just have it as a Link skill. Like that's in their like realm of possibility. Like you have like skills like, you know, Elven Blessing and Angelic Buster's burst, where, you know, they are actual skills. You can put them on your keyboard, right? Hotkey them. And just make it function the same as, you know, it's like it's Kishin. So
I think the reason they put it in the reward point shop specifically was to limit the access to botters and hackers, because like talking about all the e-boss botters in reg servers that
right, but would it really do anything?
I mean, from what they've said, they're saying that all of these botters are taking advantage of Kishin, and that's what's weighing on the server load. So
Well, it's not like Kitchen's
So
getting removed.
so if everyone's not going to be a Kanna anymore, right? They'll just go on a different class but have the Link skill. So what's the difference? You're still on one character, you still have Kishin, but they're not directly on Kanna botting. They have to go through, you know, a little bit of a loop to, you know, get up a Kanna to 70 or 120, whatever.
Like, it's not like regular Kitchen's getting removed, so botters are still gonna.
That's true.
That's
Right.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they just keep using Kana.
Yeah,
Right.
they wouldn't.
I think it's really unfortunate that like so many decisions are being made with the assumption that bots are always going to exist.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
I mean, that's true for every game though. Like nowadays,
Yeah,
Yeah.
unavoidable.
it's not just Maple.
Right.
I think the scale for this game is definitely certainly like more intense. They care about it a lot more
Extreme, yeah.
than other games.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other Korean MMOs that have a lot of bots, but like they try to work in a way that doesn't impact regular players as much. Whereas Nexon kind of just uses like a blanket approach.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that's definitely true. That's true.
I remember in a different game, like they had like their own version of like a meta exploit, and they basically just blocked the auction house for a certain amount, like under certain conditions. That basically solved the entire problem. So like they deliberately considered options that would affect the entire player base, and they're like, no, we're gonna find something else that's more efficient for everybody. They did.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see how, and it's also a Nexon game, so like I don't know how it's not possible.
Different teams. I don't know.
I guess, yeah. Matt, is there something about red misses in Maple M?
Yes, but I wouldn't be able to tell you because, like, Fishwood, I stopped playing Maple M a long time ago.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Is that everything? We covered everything. think so.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, any other comments? I was gonna introduce like another way they could have like gone about the Fury Totem, like I mentioned like the 6 hours toggleable, but something else they could have done was make it worth 10k reward points, duration of 30 days, and because like I first had the idea of like obviously just keeping it as an equip, but you can't make it transferable with an account as well. So it'll be available to like all your characters, right? Because you only have to purchase it once a month.
Right.
But you can't transfer gear in Reboot. So the Man King in my chat last night came up with the idea of just making it a setup item, which you can transfer it, and like something like the Maple Specialist title, which is coming back soon in the Step Up event. It's in the realm of possibility that Nexon is able to do, and there are setup items that have reactors attached to them, like chairs, with really big effects. So it wouldn't be out of the question that Nexon could make a setup item that could cast, your Fury Totem, or like the Kishin skill.
Sounds like a lot of work. If
I don't know.
so,
I don't
if
think so.
the totem was a cash totem, you could transfer that through Cash Up, which would be pretty interesting.
Only to
Right, it's still
well,
restricted.
it would-
It's true.
certain
Yeah.
you're restricted
Right.
to different characters,
Right.
and they would have to completely like develop new slots to your equip tabs because there are no cash totems.
That's true.
It doesn't have to be a cash totem then.
Right, it doesn't have to be a
Cash item.
totem. Could be something else, right? But then you can't transfer it
Yeah.
to all your characters.
Yeah.
Alternatively,
exception.
oh wait, that doesn't really fix anything. I was gonna
What were
say,
you gonna say though?
buy it on your Kish Mule. Or buy it on a second account on a different. But you just use a Kish Mule at that point.
Yeah. Whitelisting again. That's like I feel like again too much effort for Nexon. Like they could make a potential whitelist for Reboot, and that's how they would also introduce like like zeros as well, because of their scrolling system. So you could just make only this item transferable in your account, but and again, I feel like it's more work than making a setup item. Like instead of an equip item, just make it a setup item. It's like, and have it function similarly.
What do you mean by a whitelist?
Because you can't transfer equips. Like if you're gonna keep it the same as it is right now, like the Fury Totem, which is an equip, you'd have to whitelist it so it could be moved within your storage.
Oh, okay.
Because my idea was having it transferable with an account. 30 days, 10k reward points a month. I think that'd be pretty solid. That way you can just have it all around whenever you want.
Yeah. What if they make it into the Legion shop?
That could be
What do you
interesting.
mean?
If they put the Fury Totem into the Legion shop, accessible through there.
A modified or the
the same
way
one.
it is currently.
Whatever version. Because I feel like that's just gonna scale better, as you get later into the game. So it's a
Yeah.
scalable solution
Yeah.
for casual players, but also,
Yeah.
later on.
Putting in Legion shop would be a good idea.
Question for Nox and Pocket. Do either of you think you're ever gonna buy the Fury Totem?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it
Yeah.
for Oz runs.
Yes, Oz. Oz is the one thing that I've been looking forward to with the Fury Totem. It's probably the only time I'd buy one. I can't.
I don't run Oz, so I'd probably just do it before I leave my Kanna.
It'd also be good for like if they're bringing back one droid, the farming area, since you can't party in there anymore.
Yes.
But it's pretty limited, so you have to pick and choose like who you want to use now.
It's like picking your favorite kids.
Mm-hmm. What?
So just stuff like that, I guess. But yeah, I'm fine.
No, don't mind me.
Okay. Yeah, it'll have some uses. Limited. I mean, I do usually have too many reward points, and I just like go on different worlds and buy cubes.
Mm. It's like I was looking forward to because sometimes I'm too lazy to load up my laptop to bring on my Kanna to do dailies. So I was looking forward to just getting the new item, doing dailies with the Fury Totem. But
Right.
if it's only for 2 hours and it costs 2k, it's like can't really justify that just for dailies. So bit of a bummer.
It is. Well,
Yeah, hopefully they make some adjustments. That's all we can really hope for at this point, I guess.
I think just the community feedback prior to any changes that like are potentially this drastic should be introduced, and then we can have our say before it actually comes to the game.
Yeah, I agree. Like, sure, they probably have heavy limitations, but like at least
Like, if
some
they really
input.
want to involve us, more, then I feel like that should be the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there's any chance they're gonna put that as one of the rewards for the PQ?
Could be.
Maybe.
Never know.
Epic reward. The new Fury Totem. Just what you asked for.
Yeah, well, everyone's been like yelling for PQs all the time, so here we go. Just like the good old days.
Well, just want to say thank you all for just taking the time to spend with us talking about all of the new content. I think we're going to wrap it up here. So thank you all for coming. Yeah, we'll call it a podcast. All right. Thank you to everyone who is in the chat watching live. Thank you to everyone watching on YouTube. That's going to be it for this time. This one. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.